How many people are watching this, love God, but still find themselves caught up in their own lives and desires? How many of us want success? How many of us want family? How many of us want a boyfriend, a girlfriend? How many of us want to still have fun? How many of us want all these things that make us happy? We all want it. But how many of us sometimes, as much as we love God, we're afraid that really giving everything to God means losing all of that. So, and we're not willing to give it up. That was me. That was why I think, even though I've always had God in my life, why I was kind of like this. Like, I love God, but I don't want to be one of those crazy church people. I don't want to be weird and unrelatable and not have a good time and all that. I was deathly afraid of that. So I loved God at a distance. I admired God I was like a God's biggest fan. But to be his follower was like, that doesn't sound appealing. That sounds like I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. And it's just gonna be a whole life of sacrifice. Well, it is a life of sacrifice, but it's not a loss. And that, I always felt like I needed someone to explain that to me, because I would have surrendered to God a long time ago. So that's what this message is about. It is about surrender. What does it mean to surrender? How do you surrender? And what do you gain by surrendering? Because let's be frank, let's be honest. We want to know what we're going to gain. And thankfully, we have a God that gives us everything we could ever want. But we don't even know we want it yet. All we know is what we've been taught through images in the media, our upbringing, whatever it may be. We are taught to want money. We are taught to want nice things, male attention, female attention, a relationship, a whole bunch of friends, to be popular, to have a whole bunch of followers on Instagram. That's kind of what we're programmed to aspire to have and to be. So this idea of giving it all to God conflicts with that so much, with our upbringing, where it's like, as much as that sounds great, I'm not willing to do it. And then in turn, we live in this guilt knowing that we know what's right, but we're not willing to do it. And I feel like that's been the majority of my life up until about a year ago, where God showed me that giving it all up is actually a gain, is a tremendous gain. And I can say, as a person that lived for the world, that this life is better. And the reason that I wanted to do this video is because I needed to hear that at some point. And since not enough people are comparing the two lives, that we're just caught up thinking that this godly life and surrender is unappealing. So, first question I ask, what is surrender? Surrender is literally laying everything at God's feet. Saying, God, take my career, take my family, take my friends, take my vision, take my thoughts, take my anxieties, take my fear, take everything that encompasses me. I'm putting it at your feet because I can trust you with it. I trust you so much that you love me so much that you in turn fulfill my desires. And this is how he fulfills our desires. We think, oh, okay, so I'm going to lay everything I got and he's going to give me that boo that I've been wanting and da-da-da. No, what ends up happening is an internal transformation where now our desires aren't those same desires. Our desires become his desires. So we don't lose, we just change. So, yes. First thing, lay everything at his feet. That means denying yourself, saying, God, I don't care about this. I trust you. I'm giving it to you. So that's step one. Give it all to him. Deny yourself. Say, I don't need to focus on me. It's all about you. That's step one. Deny self. Step two is to then follow him. Seek him. Seek his will. Understand who Jesus was when he walked the earth. Start to live and breathe God. And as for supernatural, so it doesn't have to be so much, oh, I got to read, I got to do this. Just talk to God. Tell God I'm laying it off for you so that I can understand you because I want to follow you. And even in those 2 steps, there is a freedom because your life is not your own at all. It's His. So it's easier. You have less to worry about. When we think we can control it all, that's why we go crazy internally, because we weren't created to control it all. Honestly, He gave us free will because He's given us the option. You could follow this word or you could follow me. I'm going to follow Him, the Creator. So that's step 2. Step 2 is to follow Him. Step 3 is to understand the gain in all of this. So through this denying of self and then following Him, there's a transformative experience going on where your desires now become His desires, and you now understand the gain. And let me tell you what the gain is. It's an internal peace. Your vision has now changed because it's aligned in His will, and you want that. You no longer want what the world has taught you your whole life. You now want what He has for you. Like I said, I'm going to bring up personal experience. I thought I wanted all these worldly things, a whole bunch of money, a fine boyfriend, all these things that look great, in theory, or what I thought. Now it's like, yeah, I might still want a fine boyfriend. Yeah, I might still want money, but that's not going to have me. And at the end of the day, I still have peace in right now and where God has me because He's directing my path. So every stop that I make, I know I was supposed to be there. And sorry about this gum. The 4th thing is to live without fear of the future. So now that you've done all this and you've laid everything out at His feet, your life is going to change. Everything around you is just going to kind of leave you. Because God needs to test it out. Do you really care about these things anymore? And He's going to make it easier. I remember struggling with wanting to go out all the time and clubbing while I surrendered to God. And I was like, God, why do I still want to do this? I laid everything at your feet, but I still have this desire. And God was like, I got you, basically. He was like, you think you have this desire, but you don't. So the next time I went out, I was like, you're right. What is there to gain here? So in all that, I just want to make that clear, that surrendering to God sounds difficult because of what the world portrays to be the life, but there is a spiritual realm. God is looking out for you. Your desires will change and you will finally experience wholeness. But in order to let God get control and transform you, you have to lay everything at Him, because while you're still in control, He can't fully operate in you. So I hope this spoke to someone. I hope the idea of surrender, just start meditating on that word, surrender. God, how do I do that? What do I need? What is taking up room in my mind? What is taking up anxiety in my being? Lay that at His feet and watch Him transform you, and watch things shift around you, and watch how much more peace you have. And that's all. Thanks. I really do hope this spoke to someone. Please share. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. Only1_Tina. Thank you.